So if you are looking for a way to make loads and loads and loads of money in the next, like, I don't know, 12 months, by the way, there's plenty more where that came from. Look, I'll even show you. There's plenty more. Come on, you want to make more and more and more and more? Fine, right? If you're looking for a way to make loads and loads, I'm trying to kick this money out of me, money over the next 12 months, then I might just have the best way inside of the next 12 months for you to go and make 100K. 100K, and by the way, I'm talking in British pounds, so that in dollars is like $125,000, something like that. I am not talking about drop shipping. I am not talking about Amazon FBA. I'm not talking about crypto. And I'm also not talking about opening a social media marketing agency. Oh, no, no, no. By the way, I'm also not claiming that I've invented what I'm talking about. I'm sure there are many other people that do this. I might actually be late to this trend. You guys might all start laughing at me and say, Richard, I've already done this. I've done this years ago. What we're going to be talking about today is a little thing that I like to call, and that I take advantage of, called labour arbitrage. Now, before you go, Richard, what the hell? What the hell is labour arbitrage? Let me explain what arbitrage is for you guys, right? Arbitrage just means basically the difference between two things. Example, right? If you were doing Amazon FBA and let's say you have like a discount store near your house and they are selling anything. They're selling, what do people like buying? Barbecues. They're selling barbecues, right? And you see that the discount store is selling these barbecues for £10. And you go and look on Amazon and you see that they're selling for £25. The arbitrage there is £15, right? £10 in the store, 25 on Amazon. There's £15 of arbitrage there. So you would buy 20 of these in the stores, you buy 20 of them, and then you sell them, you make 20 times 15 quid, like £300 or whatever. That's an example of arbitrage, but arbitrage specific to labour is slightly different. Now, when we're talking about arbitrage with labour, it's very, very simple. If we look at a country like the United Kingdom, right, where the average salary paid here in the United Kingdom is around about £30,000, maybe slightly more, right? If we look at that and say that's the average yearly salary, and we maybe look at another country such as the Philippines, I'm just going to put down as PH, the average salary might be literally like less than $5,000. So considerably less than this, probably about 10% of the cost. This is what is called labour arbitrage. Not only can we benefit from this, by the way, as business owners in terms of getting cheaper labour, but I also think there's a really great way that you are going to be able to make some money using this as well. Now for me, I have around about 10 full-time staff overseas. If I was to pay them an average salary in the UK, that equals somewhere in the region of 300,000. Wow, let me just do that to make it easier. £300,000, that's before, by the way, the real cost of having a member of staff is not that. It would probably be closer to maybe 360,000 by the time you add in just different stuff you need to add in the UK, right? There's stuff. That is the stuff, Laurie. Thanks. For me to have 10 overseas in the Philippines, this cost me around about 40,000 per year, right? So that's a saving of 320,000. Richard, why do you not have all your staff in the Philippines? Well, there's some people I like to have here, like my camera operators and just different things that I like to have in Scotland, like my sales team to be here in the same office as me so that I can talk to them and we can do sales training and all that kind of stuff. But I have the exact same size of team in the Philippines as I do here in the UK as I'm making this video. That's probably going to change, but there we go, that's where we are. So, if we're in a position where there are people in the UK, a business here, who will likely have staff, they're paying somewhere in that 30k region. Well, if we could offer them the same quality, or maybe even better, faster service, better attitude, and I'll explain that in a second, for, well, we know how much it costs. We don't strictly need to tell them, that's business, right? If we could offer them that for, I don't know, 70% less, about 20% in there for us, right? Then do you think they would maybe be more inclined to like listen to a conversation with you? Definitely, right? Definitely. So in this situation, the first benefit is saving and some other things there. Now, I'll be totally honest, I have never had staff that is hardworking as my digital team in the Philippines. I never have. There's a different attitude towards work. They just are harder working people, maybe because the country just has less money, and also I just realised there's also a camera over here that I've not turned on, so I'm going to turn this on now. Gary, sorry mate, never noticed that camera there. What can you do? All my camera operators that are so amazing, they're away on lunch. So maybe it's because it's a country that the Philippines is very modern, but it's also still developing. So maybe they're just more eager to work. I find that many people in the UK are lazy. They don't want to work. They are so lazy, it's unbelievable, right? I don't appreciate that. I appreciate people who work hard. The sad thing about benefiting from labour arbitrage and thinking about using this as a business, you're probably seeing where I'm going, right? What we are going to look to do is recruit people in developing countries with degrees, with qualifications. I'm going to go through this whole process, right? Because I've done it to onboard people into my own business. You guys can do it to onboard people into your business, but not to do a role for you, to do a role for other people that you can bill out for more than what you're paying them, but way less than what people are paying in the UK or in the US, any of the big five, UK, USA, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, right? Any of the big five, people will be paying money for these roles. You can give them amazing quality. They don't have to pay like tax to the people and stuff because the person's income is in the Philippines, right? They're a self-employed contractor, and I've never had an issue with this ever, right? And they save this huge bunch of money and get this. It's an amazing offer, right? So we're going to look to recruit people, place them in roles, and profits, right? You can't say I'm a bad guy. I'm always thinking of ways to help you guys, you people at home, right? Make money. Make some money. Obviously, I make most of my content for business owners, but if you haven't watched my top 4 ways to make your first £1,000 online, you might want to go and watch that. Put this in the video somewhere. But I'm always trying to think of ways to get you guys involved in business, even though it's not the thing I do. It's not this, like, I don't sell a bloody course on this, right? I'm just showing you something that may be an idea that you guys can use, right? So this is what we're going to look to do. This essentially is the framework. Now, people default, when you talk about virtual staff, let me stand here and tell you this. When you talk about virtual staff, people start to default to thinking that if someone is from a developing country, they can't speak English, or they will have like a language barrier, or they're less intelligent, or they'll be less qualified. Because you see all these ads of people offering like virtual assistants, VAs, for like $2 an hour, right? Do they exist? Absolutely. I could probably find you one for $1.50, but they're going to be like so basic. They're just going to be like a human being that exists and breathes, that you can like ask them to do the simplest, most basic things in history, right? This is not going to be someone that you like grow your business with, essentially, right? So you see this, and yeah, you would be right to think they're not super high quality. We can pay people in countries like the Philippines. 2 biggest hubs for remote workers for labour arbitrage on planet Earth is Manila in the Philippines and Cape Town in South Africa. That's your 2 big ones. Other people in Bangladesh, Pakistan, all these different kinds of places, absolutely. But if you're looking for a big win, you're going to be looking in the Philippines, you're going to be looking in Cape Town, South Africa. You're not training people to do these things. These people already exist. They're already freelancing and doing roles for people and picking up hours here and there. So you're not having to train them to do anything. You're going to them and they're professionals. Many of them have degrees, by the way. They've got degrees. They've got serious work experience. They just happen to live somewhere like Manila. What's the average salary in Manila? It's like $300 an hour, right? So you can pay people really handsomely. Like you could pay someone double that, 600 USD, which is like less than £500 for my UK viewers. You could have someone for $500 who would be delighted to work for you. Like so happy to work for you. It's double the average salary. If you're getting paid 30k right now in the UK and I came and offered you 60 grand, are you going to be angry? No, you're going to jump to the opportunity. You would do extra hours, you would work harder. That's how you get people on your side, right? Now, here we have these people, and let's say we are paying them $600. So we have got $600 that we are paying this person, which is double, to repeat, double the average salary in that country. So they're going to be absolutely delighted, right? So this is £500. There's nothing you're really setting this person up on. There might end up being, you want to keep them inside of Calendly or a booking system of yours. If you want this to be super professional, you could use something like G Suite to create them a team email for your business. So let's say that you're calling yourselves whatever business, right? So you would have blah, blah, blah.com, right? And then their name, and you can do this through G Suite, right? Buy that blah domain on GoDaddy for a pound? I can't even speak English, right? For like £1. So if you wanted to make this look really professional, I hate Gmails. I hate people having Gmails. You want to set them up on a WhatsApp business, which you can do as well. You want to make it just a little bit more polished. You might have another running cost per member of staff of somewhere in the region of $20 US a month, right? To make this look really polished so that it's direct for you. That's them on a calendar system, decent email, all that kind of stuff, right? Now, that gives you that person for, however many hours per week. You agree that with them. Is it likely that because I'm trying to make you see both sides of the thing here, right? So we've got recruiting, I'll split this up. We've got recruiting, and then we've got placing here, right? So there's different things we need to consider. Recruiting, costs, right? One thing to also remember, time zone, right? So time zone is different. This is pretty much it. When we're placing them, is it likely that someone, your first ever client potentially, if you're trying to do something like this, is it likely that that person is going to spend their money taking this person full time? No. It's likely that people are going to take this person for 3 or 4 hours per week, right? So if someone's taking, let's just say 5 to keep the maths easy, they're doing that 5 hours per week, 5x per week. We would need to make up a full-time job role for this person, somewhere in the region of 7 or 8 clients, right? So let's say that this person who's getting paid $600 is an email marketing copywriter. They build out email flows and they do the copywriting for it. That's something that people would pay a full-time salary for to have in their office, somewhere in the region of 35,000, which works out as, let's just say $3.5K a month, right? So if you were able to go to this person and say, hey, by the way, I know this service would cost you $3.5K, or currently is costing you $3.5K. What if we were able to do this service for you and place one of our experts inside of your business for £1,000? You come in, no questions asked, you probably want to be VAT registered. VAT is a type of tax in the UK. If you're in America, don't listen to that, right? So you're like, yep, £1,000, that's gonna get you access to one of these people, so it's saving you 70%, 66%, something like that, on what you're spending already, and it's going to get you access to one of our experts who we train and we deal with as managers. You have any problems with them, you come to us, we just assign them to your team, they do everything, we invoice you at the end of the month, boom, nice and easy, right? So this here, times that by, the 7 or 8, a member of staff could be worth in the region of 7K to you, right? Costs are very, very simple. You've got your own time that you're billing out. You look at this as well, your cost here might be, let's even say it's $1,000. Forget $1,000, let's say it's even worse. It's £1,000, right? Which it's not, we know it's not. Simple maths here. 7 minus 1 equals 6,000, right? It doesn't because this isn't thousands, but I'll make it easy. 6,000, gross profit. 6,000 from the one person. Yeah, but Richard, I've not got the confidence, I don't know how to acquire the people and it might not be that good and blah, 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 blah. One person, using that person for 5 hours a week would pay them off, right? Use them in your own business. If you have another business, you can also grow this labor arbitrage agency, whatever the hell we're calling it. You could grow this using those people to help you. So find one person who has done an admin position, who's done company management, right? We will find these people on LinkedIn, on Fiverr, on Upwork, on Instagram. You'll find them on any types of places. You go to that person and say, hey, I want to employ you inside of my organization. This is what I want to do. I want an amazing team of virtual workers who are going to do this, that, and the next thing. Have you got a list of people there that you know have worked with previously? By the way, the person who I done this with, I got one person from them, and it ended up because their family was so big, they just had members of the family that done different things. And eventually the team just grew and grew, right? So this is how this stuff can go. It's not like the maddest situation in the world that you find yourself in. So here, I would go to that person, say, hey, do you know people that have skill sets, top skill sets that I would say making websites, social media management, ads, copy, admin. That says admin, what an idiot. Admin, personal assistants. These all solve great problems. Website design is really expensive in the UK. I'm tripping over my fake money off Amazon. Web design's really expensive and pretty slow. You can benefit from huge savings and faster timescales. Social media management, people normally don't do it very well. They can't be arsed doing it. They fall behind on schedules. They forget to upload stuff. Months go by and they don't upload anything. Problem solved. Ads, tricky. They don't know how to run them. They're not experts. They don't know how to make the assets for the ads. Solved. Minus, I'm just talking about pain points here. I'm not even talking about price. Like what they would pay in the UK would be way more. Copy. Copy's just boring and nobody wants to do it, right? It's annoying. Copy, done. Admin, you're not organising your invoices properly, you're not reconciling your accounts, you're not bookkeeping, you're not dealing with the emails that are coming in inbound, you're not contacting people from your contact forms fast enough, they're going days without anybody reaching out to them. Done. Personal assistant, your own flights, servicing cars, like business appointments, organising your diary. Done. These are all things that we can do for people that takes massive stresses off of them and their businesses, right? I personally think that this is the quickest way to scale to 100K inside the next 12 months. Call me crazy, but that's what I think, right? Now, how are you going to go about actually acquiring customers? How are you going to go and find people to use these services? We have got 3 options, and this is the same 3 options for pretty much any business, right? So we've got cold outreach, we've got organic social, and we have got paid social, right? So these are your 3 options just now, right? Cold, free, and the worst, right? I'm just being reasonable, I'm being honest. Free and the worst. Organic, free and fine, paid, king, right? Paid's best. So, if I was you guys and I wanted to have the best possible presentation, the best chance of making this happen, remember on the last page I was talking about all these different things and web and blah, 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 blah. These same people, I would get a quick website chucked up, right? Like a little 1-page landing page. Pick a business name. I don't even care if you don't register the company straight away, right? I'm not HMRC, I don't care. But sometimes I think it's better to build it, and then when you start getting a little bit of traction, deal with the rest afterwards, right? People get too obsessed with like registering companies and it makes them feel cool and all that, even though they've made no money, right? So get a site. One of the people that we're talking about, go and use one of these people to build a site for you. You can get a simple 1-page landing page with a little booking system in it for $500, right? It's not going to be amazing, but it's enough to start, right? I hate when people offer me services and I search for business, I don't find anything. I hate it, right? So right here, that's what we're looking for. We are looking for a website to be done, $500. So I'm talking about startup costs here, $500 US. Starting cost number 1, right? Which means we can send people to this website. That also covers our organic and our cold, because we have a website. Cold is gonna be sweat equity. That's you reaching out to people on LinkedIn. Hey, I see you've got a business. I see your business is down as having between 10 and 49 staff members on LinkedIn. It shows that. What if I was able to place one of these guys inside of your business? You wouldn't say these guys. One of my highly trained overseas experts. You can benefit from a 70% labour discount in comparison to UK workers, and I'll give them to you for totally free for a month. Right? And you can see if they're any good. This is the type of stuff you have to do with cold. You can't message people cold and then try and act like Billy Big Balls, like that person needed you the whole time. Doesn't really work, right? So that's step number 1, right? Get the website, cold outreach. Organic is just posting on social media, following people on social media. So as you're outreaching cold to people on LinkedIn, also building that, owner at such and such agency. You're posting on Instagram, you're posting on Facebook, you're posting on your personal accounts as well, by the way. You don't go, oh, I don't want anyone to know I've got a business. If you care about growing your business, you'll leverage your social media, right? So organic, we're gonna start posting. Paid is king, but requires money, right? So paid, I would say aim to go paid inside of 3 months. 12 weeks, something like that. Once you get a little bit of money in, put £500-600 or dollars aside for your marketing every month. Spend it on your marketing, on your paid ads, either with one of your experts that you're using overseas, or do it yourself if you fancy doing it. And that means that your setup cost to get this started is going to be like $500 plus setting up some email addresses. Let's say $550, right, to set this up. Most of these people that do these roles, they get paid 1 month in delay. So don't take advantage of this, don't be a dickhead, right? But what people will do is they'll come and work for a month and get paid at the end of the month like a normal employee. Some people would take advantage of this and be like, oh, I'm going to get them to work for a month and then I'm going to ignore them. If you do that, you're like a scumbag, right? And I hope you unfollow my YouTube channel and never watch any of my things again, right? But you can place these people in other businesses with very little risk of your own. If you took 3 of these people in 3 different roles and they were to cost you $1,000 each, right? So we've got $3,000. And we were gonna bill them out at $1,000 per business with 7 business capacity, right? So $1,000 per business, 7 business capacity, right? And that's per person, so technically that's times 3 as well, right? So 7, 14, 21 would be 21K. Is it likely you're gonna be able to do that in your first month? No, absolutely not. Let's say you miss that target horrifically. You're lazy, you're not reaching out to people, and it comes to the end of the month and you've only had 1 client come on board for, 3 hours and you've got $3,000. And all you do is break even, right? I think a monkey with no arms and no fingers, call me delusional if you want, I think a monkey with no arms and no fingers could do this. Never mind a human being who clearly has the capacity to use your fingers, or you wouldn't be on YouTube. Maybe you have one of those eye things, I don't know, right? That's simple. Even if you don't try, you try to tell me you couldn't get 3 people. If you're slamming it, you couldn't get 3 people to take this on and your first month's costs are 0. Let's say you mess up even more, because sometimes businesses you need to put a little bit of money into, right? So, and by the way, these startup costs are ridiculously low. Ridiculous. So don't come and hit me with this, oh Richard, I wanted a way to make 100,000 in the next 5 minutes with no startup costs, right? Piss off to someone else's YouTube channel then. I'm not gonna be the guy that shows you that, because I don't really think it exists that much. So in this situation, let's say you messed up fully and you only managed to get 1,500 quid in, then it means at the end of the month, if you were in the negative, you're like 1,000 in the negative, right? But you've started a business and you've got the processes all in place and you've got a website and you've got staff there, you just need to assign them to more people. Big wow. If you ran a £1,000 loss the first month and then got a whole bunch of new clients on the next month, great, right? I do not see how anyone can get involved in a labour arbitrage like this and not actually make any money. I look at this and I'm like, okay, how is that possible? How could you not make any money? Yeah, you might not be the person that gets to 6 figures with it. Not everyone is gonna make 6 figures in their life. Boo-hoo, right? But if you actually put like 10 hours a week into this, you could have this started up inside of the next 7 days. 7 days could be started up, talking to potential workers, thinking about different businesses you're going to attach. Are you going to go niche? You're going to do this for construction companies. You're going to reach out to construction companies. Hey, I help construction business owners just like you save time on admin, generate more leads through digital marketing, and help organise your personal diary. We're able to do all 3 of those things, not for what it would cost you in the UK, it would be about £10,000 a month. We're able to do that for you for only £2,500 a month. Nice, it's a good offer. By the way, you're gonna get the door slammed in your face so many times when you're doing cold outreach, so many times. That's why I say it's the worst, right? It's hard, but it's free. And if you get 1 or 2 clients, it allows you to wash your face on your costs of having 1 person, 2 people, 3 people. You can't tell me that it doesn't tick these boxes. Startup costs, massive tick. Cheap, very cheap. Scaling, amazing, no physical office required, no PAYE required, which is registering an actual employee in the UK. None of that stuff, no setting them up with tech, no buying no laptops, no nothing. These people come prepped and ready to work. And time, massive tech. It's probably, you could scale this like a full business, by the way, and do it like a full agency. If you want to do this as a hustle, I'm not gonna say side hustle because I hate side hustles and it's the stupidest thing in the world. If you want to do this as a hustle with limited time, 10 hours a week, scoosh, no problem. 10 hours a week, you can make £5,000 to £6,000 a month. Easy, no bother, right? Experience, you don't need any experience. Can you speak English? Nice. Even if you can't speak English, people in your language will need this. If you can't speak English and you're this far in the video, don't know how you got here, right? Experience, do you need a degree to do this? No. You need to be able to breathe and you could do this, right? So if you want to get to, oh, missed that. If you want to get to 100K inside of the next 12 months with very little experience, very little money, and have it be scalable, I think this is the way. This is the way. If you want to make some of these bad boys right here, that does not say for motion picture use only. It says this is real money. It doesn't say in good copy we trust, it does say in God we trust, right? This is not fake money, I promise. But if you want to make loads of these, and you want to be able to, you know, buy your mum a yacht, or finally get that woman back who, you know, ignored you on Instagram after you messaged her 14 times, this is the way to do it. This is the way to make some frickin' money the next few months. So I hope you listen to this. And either if you're an entrepreneur, you'll see the opportunity to benefit from labour arbitrage in your organisation, the same way that I do, saving £300,000 a year. If you're not an entrepreneur, you'll see a way that you can use this to make money. And if you're a super entrepreneurial brained person, you will be able to see an opportunity to build this, to make money from it, and then to use the same benefits of the labour arbitrage as the staff for growing the business, so that it's one big cannibalised system in a positive way that makes sense and makes you money. Great. If you like this video and you enjoy the free game, you can click the link down below. No, you can't. You can click subscribe down below. I'm too bit used to saying the link because I do everything on Instagram. Click subscribe down below, click like, drop a comment, go and do this, because if you don't, I'm gonna get you. Peace.